Hello there. Welcome to today's session of Every Mark Matters, where we are having a look at Edexcel History Paper 1, Medicine Through Time. Today we're going to begin with a explain one way question. I'm just going to read out the question to you. Explain one way in which the prevention of epidemics was similar in the 17th century and 19th century. If you just want to spend some time now, just writing in that question into your books or your notepads with plenty of space to annotate around it, and then once you've done that, come right back to me. So our questions, as you are well aware, are split up into three chunks, three components that make up these exam questions. The first thing is the command phrase. In this context, it is explain one way. Explain one way is basically asking you to compare time periods. What that means is that you must refer to both time periods within the study. Our focus, the second element within this question, is prevention of epidemics. And again, what this question has included as well is it's given us two time periods. So have a think about when the 17th century would be, so that would be the 1600s. And when the 19th century, that would be the 1800s. So what you need to do is you need to determine now what knowledge you have about both of these time periods. So what I'm going to suggest you do is you begin by pausing the video, working out what are the time periods. So I'm just going to put TP1 and TP2, and then once you've worked out the time periods, annotate what did they do to try and prevent the spread of epidemics. Okay, press pause, and I'll see you again in 30 seconds. Okay, welcome back. So, again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to annotate the focus. 1600s, well, as you know, that is the Renaissance. Prevention of epidemics, well, as you know, the major epidemic, the major outbreak that takes place during the time period, that is the Great Plague. So, how did they prevent the spread of it? Well, what I'm just going to add in here is that what do they do? Well, the rich left, didn't they? They didn't do a very good job. Could add in is that they carried around flowers because of miasma. They set fire to things in public places. Well, they closed down public places, actually, that's even better. Again, the 1800s, well, yeah, I'm sure you quite rightly said that is the industrial period. Well, what major outbreaks took place during the industrial period? I'm sure you've already put this about cholera. And then finally, of course, we can refer to maybe John Snow. Okay. So we've done the command phrase, we've had a look at the focus. What's our final element? That is the second order concept. Again, you don't need to memorise what these things are, but for 8 out of 8, or in this question 4 out of 4, what we need to do is we need to make sure we have an understanding of what they are. And in this context, it is similarity. Okay? So think about phrases that you might use to demonstrate similarity. I mean, an easy one is similarly. Similarly. That's an easy one. Okay, right. So this question here, it's a 4-mark question. That means you only need to do 1 paragraph. You need to spend 5 minutes on it. What I'm going to offer you is I'm going to offer you a success criteria here. I might switch to a different colour, like green. And your success criteria is dead simple. Alright, and what we're going to do is a tick list. So let's have a look at our success criteria. So our success criteria, again, I'm just going to put a little tick list here. It's easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to state the similarity. Evidence from time period 1. Evidence from time period 2. And then an explanation. Easy. No need for any extended explanation or any analytical explanation. All you're doing is saying why they're similar. Okay? Okay, right. Press pause. Set yourself a 5-minute timer. And we'll have a look at one of mine and we'll compare one of yours. And we will annotate where we have got our marks and where you have got your marks. Okay? 5-minute timer. Go for it. Hello, welcome back. So I'm hoping you've just spent there 5 minutes having a go at answering that question. So let's have a look at mine. So I'm just going to start, I'm very conscious of my terrible handwriting. So I'm just going to start by reading out my answer to you. Again, a reminder, the question was explain one way in which the prevention of epidemics was similar in the 17th and 19th centuries. Let's have a little look at today. So here's my answer. One way in which the prevention of epidemics in the 17th and 19th century is similar was because of the lack of government intervention. For example, during the Renaissance, the king and the government left London as hundreds of thousands of people died during the outbreak of the Great Plague of 1665. Similarly, the government took a laissez-faire approach to public health during the cholera outbreaks prior to John Snow's intervention. This is similar because the government in both time periods lacked the incentive to do anything about disease. So again, what you can do, I'm not going to insult your intelligence by highlighting my point evidence explain, but just to go back to our success criteria, we are looking for stated similarity, evidence from time period 1, in this instance the Renaissance, evidence from the industrial period, and an explanation of why they're similar. Alright, and again, this is exactly what you're looking for. So if you, just like I have here, so my reason is lack of government intervention. So if you've stated a reason that is valid, that is 1 out of 4 so far. If you've stated knowledge that fits in with that reason from the Renaissance, so I've referred to the government leaving because there was no government intervention, that is 2 out of 4. Now, I'm going to give you a sneaky hint. If you put similarly, or if it's a difference question, whereas, if you just simply put that word, there's an exceptionally high chance you're going to get 4 out of 4 anyway. But similarly, the government took a laissez-faire approach to public health during the cholera outbreaks prior to John Snow's intervention. There's my 3rd out of 4, and then as you can see, this is similar because they lack the incentive to do anything about it. That is 4 out of 4. Going straight back to my success criteria here. Have I stated a similarity? Yes. Have I got evidence from time period 1? Yes. Evidence from time period 2? Yes. And an explanation. Easy peasy. 4 out of 4. Perfect. Try and do the same for on your own, and we will call it a day there for today's session of Every Mark Matters. Thank you very much for getting stuck in, and I'll see you next time.